Imagine being laughed at, pointed at, and mocked simply for how you look or where you come from. Now picture this. They asked the chubby daughter of the black maid to dance, just to humiliate her, but when she moved, their jaws dropped. What happened next shook the whole school, and no one saw it coming. Stick around to see how the underdog rewrote her destiny. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because stories like this deserve to be told and remembered. At St. Carolina's Private Academy, where the marble halls echoed with the confident strides of the wealthy and elite, there was one girl who never quite fit the mold. Her name was Aliyah Monroe, a chubby, brown-skinned 16-year-old with big glasses, curly hair tied in mismatched scrunchies, and a quiet demeanor that screamed invisibility in a school full of golden children. Her mother, Deanne Monroe, was the school's most dedicated maid, kind, hardworking, and humble, serving tea and scrubbing floors while her daughter tiptoed silently through corridors that weren't made for her. The students, mostly children of CEOs, lawyers, and influencers, barely acknowledged Aliyah's presence except when it came to mockery. They'd whisper behind her back, mimicking her size or calling her Maid Jr. or Miss Dumpling. But Aliyah held her head down, trying not to cry, trying not to show the cracks. Inside, she carried a secret few knew, a burning passion for dance. Every evening after school, once her mother had finished her last shift and the campus lights dimmed, Aliyah would sneak into the janitor's closet, pull out an old boombox, and dance until her feet ached, her soul letting loose in pirouettes and hip-hop waves, blending classical technique with street flavor. Her inspiration? Videos of Misty Copeland, Janet Jackson, and the underground dancers from YouTube who moved like fire itself. But no one knew that, not until the Spring Fling was announced. The most extravagant school event of the year, a night of gowns, performances, and an open mic dance circle where students could show off their talents. Aliyah had no intention of going. That is, until the queen bee of the school, Bianca Holloway, blonde, rich, and cruel, cornered her at lunch with her posse and loudly announced, "Hey Aliyah, we're all going to the dance. You should come too. You can show us your moves." The table erupted in laughter. It wasn't an invitation, it was bait. A trap they wanted to show. A joke. A meme. Bianca added, "We'll even put your name on the list. Come on, don't be shy." Aliyah froze. Something in her gut twisted, but instead of fleeing like she always did, she smiled faintly and said, "Okay." That night, Diane noticed her daughter practicing longer than usual. Aliyah didn't explain, just smiled and said, "I think it's time I stop hiding." The day of the Spring Fling arrived like a storm. The gymnasium was transformed into a shimmering paradise of chandeliers, velvet drapes, and red carpets. Students arrived in glittering dresses, sleek tuxedos, and overpriced colognes. Aliyah wore a dress her mother had hand-sewn from thrifted satin, a deep emerald gown that hugged her curves and shimmered under light. Her hair was braided back into a beautiful crown, her face glowing with nervous excitement. When she stepped into the room, a hush fell, eyes widened. Gasps fluttered through the crowd. "Is that the maid's daughter?" Someone whispered. But she ignored them, walking slowly and confidently across the floor like she belonged there. The music boomed. The performances started: raps, violin solos, cheer routines. Then came the open mic dance circle. Bianca was up first, whirling, flipping her hair, making sure every movement was caught on camera. She got a loud cheer. Then she grabbed the mic, smirking. "Okay now. We've got a surprise performer, the one and only Aliyah Monroe. Show you us what you got." The crowd broke into awkward chuckles and expectant snickers. Aliyah's cheeks burned, but she stepped forward. The DJ looked at her, waiting. She handed him a flash drive. "Track 3, she said calmly. The music started, a pulsating fusion of ballet strings, hip-hop beats, and tribal rhythm. And then she moved. At first slowly like water weaving through space, then stronger, sharper, with a fierce elegance no one expected. Her arms sliced the air with grace, her feet pounded with purpose. She popped, locked, spun into pirouettes, moonwalked backward into a flawless bridge, then rose with a sharp stare that sliced through Bianca's soul. The crowd fell into stunned silence, then an eruption. Cheers. Screams. Someone yelled, "What?" That was insane. Even the head of the dance department, Ms. Green, who had barely noticed Aliyah before, stood clapping, eyes wide. Bianca's face twisted. She tried to recover with a sarcastic clap, but the damage was done. Aliyah had stolen the night. Cameras caught every second. Social media flooded within hours. At Aliyah_moves is iconic. The maid's daughter. Ate and left nitrogen monoxide crumbs. Bianca who? But Aliyah didn't care about the attention. She walked home, hand in hand with her mom, tears falling silently. Not from shame this time, but joy. The next day at school felt like a new world. People nodded at Aliyah. Some tried to talk to her. Others just stared. Even the principal called her into the office, not to scold, but to commend. "Ms. Green wants to sponsor you into the National Youth Dance Competition," he said, handing her a flyer. "She said your raw talent is rare." Bianca? She avoided eye contact, her popularity slipping as Aliyah's star rose. But behind the scenes, Bianca wasn't done. A week later, Aliyah's audition video for the dance competition was mysteriously leaked, edited to mock her with slow-motion shots, distorted audio, and cruel captions. It spread online. The comments were vile. Aliyah locked herself in her room. For 3 days. "I shouldn't have danced," she whispered to her mom. But Diane sat beside her, holding her hand. "Baby, they've always been afraid of your light. That's why they try to snuff it. But real light can't be dimmed." With trembling fingers, Aliyah uploaded the uncut version of her routine to her own page with the caption, "They tried to make me a joke. But this is who I really am." It went viral overnight. Celebrities reposted it. Dancers around the world praised her. The National Dance Council offered her a full scholarship. She was even invited to perform on live TV. Bianca? She was called out by her own followers, her mean girl tactics exposed. She tried to apologize publicly, but Aliyah never responded. She didn't need revenge. Her success was louder months later. Aliyah stood backstage at the National Youth Dance Finals, dressed in custom royal blue, her mother in the front row crying tears of pride. Cameras zoomed in, lights flashed, the world watched. And when the music started, she danced like the world had never wronged her, like pain had shaped her. Like every joke, every sneer, every whispered insult had sharpened her wings instead of clipping them. And when the final move landed, the entire auditorium stood, the judges, speechless, the audience, roaring. The chubby daughter of the Black Maid had become a symbol of grace, strength, and unstoppable courage. And as the trophy was handed to her, she turned to the camera and said, "This isn't just for me. It's for every girl who was ever laughed at and danced anyway." The screen faded to black, but her story kept moving in millions of hearts. So if you're watching this, feeling small, feeling unseen, remember Aliyah, and never forget to hit that subscribe button, because you never know where the next underdog will rise from, and you don't want to miss it.